Okay. All right. So I'd like to welcome everyone here today. This is the second of the same uh, program yesterday and today. We are going to plan on doing that going forward. So just so you know, we're trained. We've got Vicky's got the schedule, and she asked how many weeks do we want to do this. And I said, really, what we're doing is you get a chance to come to the Encountering Innovation team office and visit with us. So we're going to be open every week, all the way to Encountering Innovation is what we're planning. I may be out a week. I have torn my subscapularis. Anybody who knows where that is? Do you really, Bijo? Because you torn yours, huh? No, you just know where it is. Oh, well, I've torn it apparently, and so and then I really made it mad over the weekend because I think I did something a second time because it's really hurting now. So I think I really made it mad. Anyway, so I may be out for a week, but or for a few days. But idea is that we're going to whoever's on, and so today is a great example with Barbara, Jessica, and Bijo. We have and Chris, we have some heavy hitters that have been part of Encountering Innovation from either the beginning or almost the beginning. So whether or not it's me and Vicky, or if I'm out, there's plenty of people that can help all the way to the conference. We cannot do it without them. That's the literal truth. This is a scaled event. We were talking to Senator Moran's office this morning about some stuff, and I was tooting the horn of the SBDC. I said, I said, we were birthed out of the SBDC. We're not paid by the SBDC at this point, but we still work very closely with all the SBDC folks from Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, now Mississippi. So we want all of you to share with your neighbors, because I think at some point Encountering Innovation will be working with all the SBDCs across the country. Once you see, we were talking this morning about a client with Senator's office, and I said, I will quote Bill, and I think I did this yesterday, but there was a client that Bill, and we'll leave him nameless at this point, but Bill said he's either a kook. I don't know the exact word he used, but he says he's either a kook or he's a genius. Well, I will say at this point, everybody's going to say, wow, he's a genius. He is our banner. They are our banner company that we refer to, and they are continuing to do. But then this morning, the point was he's recruited another company, and he actually has told Pittsburgh, we believe they're going to be as big or bigger than their company. So I think we've got something to be proud of what we're doing. And so no matter who it is, we will all be working together to get you to the conference. With that in mind, I want to turn it over to, well, Vicki, I guess we will recognize, in case we do post this one as well, if you'll make sure you recognize everybody that's on then that are from the other programs. But we'll kind of do it similar to yesterday.
Okay. We have from other SBDCs across the U.S. now, Jessica Irvin, she is in Oklahoma. Chip Templeton and Whitney Jackson are from Mississippi. And then Bijo Matthew is with Texas, and Barbara Bonner Stevens. She, at one time, up until about a year or so ago, she was with Oklahoma, but she is now helping Whitney and Chip in Mississippi get their program up and running and started. So thank you all for joining us today. And then Michael is one of our innovators.
And Chris, go ahead and recognize Chris.
And Chris, yes, I'm sorry, Chris. Chris Pennington is with the Kansas SBDC at Pittsburg State University.
And we consider him one of our own because we're part of Pittsburg State. So it's kind of easy to overlook him because we think of him, we see him all the time. So Chris, welcome. We're glad you're here with us too.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so Vicky, the next thing is then we want to pull up. Why don't we tell them about the dates? That way, if somebody has to drop off, we can at least get that part done about how we're going to train each week.
We
And
are
I'll get
going to, for training for up until the event, I'm going to schedule it every Tuesday afternoon and Thursday morning. The topics will be the same on both of those days each week, so you don't have to attend both of them if you can't or don't want to, but we encourage you to at least join for one of them. And for the most part, it'll be those same days every week. I know there may be a couple of conflicts, so we may have to adjust it, but typically it'll be Tuesday afternoon. I think I'm going to do it from 3 to 4, and then Thursday morning from 10 to 11.
Great. So the next step then, Vicky's going to, I'm going to share my screen. And so, Michael, you'll see something, you're going to get to see kind of the behind the scenes part, and then it'll apply to you in just a second for our innovators. Okay, do you see, did I do it right, Vicky?
Yes.
It's twice now, it's not highlighting the screen like it normally does. I'm like, I've done something where it's not highlighting. Anyway, so why don't you just share and tell them what they're doing, what they're seeing, and then I'll click as you tell me.
Okay. We, as individuals or innovators apply to participate in Encountering Innovation, they complete the intake application. From that, we create draft documents for each company, and we're using SharePoint OneDrive to file all of those documents. We're doing it a little different this year. We have created a folder by state. So each tech coach will have access to their state clients. So here you'll see the different states that we have clients who have applied to date. So Alan, if you'll click on Kansas, you'll see the companies that have applied here. Those companies will have access to only their folder, but the tech coaches will have access to their state folder, which will have all of the companies they're working with. You'll get an email. I'll send you an email that says next steps. And in that email, it will have a link to your either state folder or to your company folder. And in that folder, it has all of those draft documents, and you'll use this location to update these draft documents as time goes on. These are all of the ones that we have created. They're all a draft except for the capability statement template and the POC document. Those you'll need to complete yourself, but all of the others, we've put information that was taken directly from the application that you submitted.
Did you want to point out the support and training?
Yes, thank you. The supporting and training folder, that has instructions for the different documents that you'll be completing. We've also put in here information, I think, for registration and anything else that might fall in lines with training or support that you would need. We'll include in this folder. And if I add anything new, I'll be sure to let everyone know.
So a question that we had yesterday. So Michael, I'll help you with the first question. As a client, what do you see versus the other clients? You will not see this screen, okay? In your case, if you, let's say you were elevated, we used elevated as our example yesterday, so they gave us their permission. If you were elevated, this is the folder you would have. So you won't even see these, you'll only see yours. And each one, like if this was Texas, this would be what the Texas team would see for theirs. So no one, only the client sees what's inside their folder, and they don't see each other at all.
And Michael, for you, when you go into your folder and you start updating those draft documents that we've created, as you create a new version, you can save it and upload it, or do the work here, but save it. And when you do that, and where you'll see there's right now, all of those draft documents come in with, for example, your bluff statement BF1. So that's the original version. If you update it and then save it, please change that 1 to a 2. Just continue to increment that number for each of those documents that you update.
Oops. Well, that was not, I forget to not double click. So yeah, there.
So you'll see the BF1 here. If you update and change your bluff statement and upload the new version, you'll just change it to BF2.
Sounds good. Is there any
And that
difference?
way we know that we've got the most current documents or recent ones when we start sending them out or doing anything with them.
Perfect. I wanted to ask a quick question about the states. So we have a little office in Kansas, and then we have a bigger office in St. Louis area. Does it really matter which kind of state or tech scout we're working with, coach? Or
The coach.
Yeah, is there not much of a difference?
You know, that's really depends on where you want to identify from. We have Missouri. They were on yesterday. I can't tell if. Give me a second. I've got.
That's where we put their
Cut off.
company was in Missouri.
Yeah. So we'll introduce you to John Woodson. He's the director for the state. He's Bijou and Jessica's counterpart for Missouri. So we'll refer you to him, and then he will connect you with with the business advisor tech coach.
Perfect.
Good, cool. Okay, any questions? Bijou, any of you guys that it's new to you? That makes.
No, this is great. No, this is a more operationally smoother than when we first started a few years back on Dropbox, and we kept building from it. So I like to see this progress. So Vicky, thumbs up, double thumbs up to you for doing a fantastic job. So
thank you. The other thing is when you click on that link in the email, and tech coaches, I'll send you a separate email with the link. But then everybody that receives their link, when you click on it, or you'll get a second email from, I think it's Microsoft Online, and it'll have a code, and you'll need to enter that code in to access your folder the first time, and you won't have to do it after that. And we've had, I know at least one client that has gone in and looked in their folder and gone through and haven't had any issues to date. So hopefully that'll continue to be the case.
Yeah, and I think Barbara brought this up yesterday, so maybe we can make these points quicker and move along faster. We'll see. But that the documents that you're working with are going to serve you. They should be serving you well past encountering innovation. And to Bijou's point about setting the expectations, this is the beginning of a process of your commercialization exercises and relationships that you're developing with DoD and others. Regardless of whether or not you do something directly with DoD, you're going to be able to utilize these documents in a variety of ways. So it's not just spent on just encountering innovation 2023. We will be referring to them. Part of what we've done, whatever this becomes the name of, we've at least instituted or done our first exercise of the block and tackle. We will cover what that is for all of you for later, but it's something that I believe is going to be part of the sprint of technologies as we work with other labs and especially other customers. So I think that's, you get involved with encountering innovation, and then afterwards, we're trying, all of us are trying to help assist you in commercialization opportunities. And I believe this is going to be one of those ways it's going to become a common practice. It's a sprint, it's a short notice, and it's supposed to be virtual. So it should be much less pain. But you've invested in, by doing encountering innovation, that investment should continue to pay dividends with those type of programs. So it's not just a one and done. All right. Any other questions with documents, document flow? Everybody good? Okay. What we want to do, I think the next step that we covered yesterday is we really want you to understand that we're not doing a PowerPoint because we don't want to use a PowerPoint. PowerPoint's just a virtual piece of paper. What we'd much rather do is show you the website, which is your toolbox. It's a toolbox for our tech coaches, the different SBDC program, and it's a toolbox for each innovator. It's supposed to be, as we go forward, it's a toolbox for our customer, the DoD. Right now, we use the Innovator Bluffs as that section, and we'll cover that in a second. What we've done, we've asked our university has added by clicking just in the center, you can go straight to the conference page. So if you haven't seen this, and I feel certain everybody here has, then the conference page should give you a hopefully a fairly good glance at what is the conference to help you understand it, but do it in a way that's at least a visually appealing to where you can take this in without feeling like you're looking at the Encyclopedia Britannica. So what the conference is, to apply, if you refer others, if they come to the encounteringinnovation.com, they should be able to get to this page quickly. For you, as you go forward, we want you to understand that we got Bill Carey has been our science advisor as part of his company, ARC Technology. Yeah, I think I said that right. We anticipate him to be back on with us fairly soon. We're working on some funding program, and once that happens, he should be back. But we have him in what we call Bill in a Box. We should have just, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking that'd have been a cool title right there, Bill in a Box. He'd have loved that. But our tech training, we have two programs that are part of the Encountering Innovation. The matchmaking, which started 2 years ago, that is a big part of bringing advanced manufacturers to the conference, and then our tech training, our tech transfer training. So if you click there, then everything we're going to do for the next few weeks, we will literally start from one of these tabs. I've already got clicked up here, but you won't hear, but you can see when I click on this, what Bill is covering is exactly what we're covering now. And he's going to do an overview. Well, we're doing that today. Next week, when we begin, we will start from the quad chart so that's why we're not going in deep dive in any of these today. We'll do that over the next few weeks. We will continue to reintroduce some of that because we need more innovators. Bijou talking about 30 something, almost 40 companies that are going to hear about this opportunity tomorrow. So hopefully they can join fairly quickly and we can get them in. But we will have a variety of people at different stages. You happen to be at the beginning part, which is very helpful. So we will go through this in training over the next few weeks. If you are an overachiever and you want to move ahead, you're more than welcome to. It will not cause any pain if you click on going on through. If you do, I highly recommend you start with the quad chart, because the quad chart really feeds with the bluff and the information paper. Your quad chart's going to pretty much feed everything else. So don't skip your quad chart and think, well, I'll do it later. Your quad chart really is the basis. It is the calling card that the DoD uses. They actually train each other. So as they move around from a tech scout to a program manager or anyone else, they're going to utilize that quad chart. So don't skip it. Okay. The other thing we wanted to do as we're going to hit the buttons is I want us to understand some dates that are critical to our being able to attract other tech scouts. So we need you to cover your bluff. We've got the bluff down here. That's the only one that we probably ought to turn on first. That's what we'll talk about actually next week first. We said the quad chart and the bluff, but the bluff is our public statement, our public marketing piece for you, the bottom line up front. We will share that information with our tech scouts that are coming, but we will share that with them to where they can share it with tech scouts that they want to have either attend the entire conference or that they want them to attend for your pitch. Because from the beginning, we've had it to where tech scouts could attend in person, and then those that needed to could attend virtually. We had Department of Homeland Security, I think 2 years in a row, attended virtually as an example. So that's your calling card, if you will, your bottom line up front, 100 words or less that you use to explain the benefit of the problem that you're focusing to solve. It's not about how you solve it. It's about the benefit that comes from your solution. If you're not certain about that, then click on the bluff and Bill will talk about it. Bill in a box. We will use all of these as we go forward. The difference is you'll get us live with his training. You'll have us live. Once Bill's on, he'll probably be able to join in as well or take those up. But that's basically the same training he's done before that he does now. Any questions on the different portions over here on the video? Okay, so on this side are the documents. You got the real document. The examples that we have are going to be very similar, almost identical. There may be some logo changes, but the quad chart itself, the training that we've done is probably identical to what we do now. If you notice anything different, let us know. I don't think there is, but there is sometimes a nuance here or there that has been tweaked as we've gone forward in the years. But these are the documents that should be able to give you information to go along with what's here. All you need to do is pull up your documents and you can use those as you go through. Yeah, Vicki?
And these same documents are also in that support and training folder.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so for you, right here is what she's referring to. That entire folder should basically have everything we're talking about. Where am I? There, over here. We are going to, as of yesterday, so just to encourage you, this is your toolbox. If something doesn't make sense or you're confused, send us an email, let us know. Same thing for the tech coaches, the different SBDCs. If they see something that they're not a little confused on, we want them. This is for us as a group. We have the university, Pittsburgh State, supporting us now. So it makes a big difference. We've got them full time. Literally yesterday, I reached out to Marissa, and right before the conference, right before our program, we realized we had forgotten to ask her to put this button up. It wasn't on this page. So she added it right beforehand. So if you see something you need, let us know. We are going to, in that regard, over here, Barbara mentioned it, we're going to put the TRL and MRL buttons over here for your reference as you're going through this training, because we throw out TRL like you know it for the technical readiness level and MRL, manufacturing readiness level. as if you know those. If you need to get familiar with them, instead of having to go Google and see if we're all comparing or looking on the same page, we're actually going to put those buttons. They're in the website. They're referred in certain places. We're going to try to make it easier to where it's right here referenced for you. Okay. Anything else you think we need to cover here? Yeah, Bijou.
So one of the things that I think comes up, and I think we probably should address, is the idea of confidentiality. So when companies put up confidentiality, what is the Encountering Innovations platform's policy around confidentiality for clients, and what is the official narrative we want to share with everybody about what we do, what we can be sure of, and what we don't do, that kind of thing.
Very good. So thank you, Bijou. That's I have said for years, I think our motto is, we may not help you, but we will not hurt you. And it should be in that order. We want to help you, but we do not at any cost want to hurt you. So what we do, to what Bijou's saying, when you sign in as a client, there is a statement of understanding that we're still utilizing, and it gives us permission that you agree to, that we can share your information for purposes of for the purposes of the conference with DoD Tech Scouts, and then there's some others that we enumerate there. Your SBDC is who you're working with, so they have their agreement with you. And then what we say is, we will utilize your documents in order to get the Tech Scout to work with them or to refer them for socializing afterwards. At the conference, the way we split the difference of public and private is that your quad chart and your information paper are considered private. They're only going to be shared by us at your pitch. So you'll see it in when you come to the conference, and we'll cover this as we go too. There's a green room, a pitch room, and a red room. And so as you go through, your quad chart and your information paper and your pitch deck are part of that relationship in that pitch with the different Tech Scouts that show up either physically or virtually. Your public document is your poster board. We are switching this year to where, and I think Vicki covered it yesterday. I'm going to steal your thunder a little bit. The poster board document is your public document. Now, those of you that become a poster board only client, if you're watching this later and you're part of Bijou's group, and some of you ended up as poster board, you're an earlier TRL or whatever the situation is. For those that are poster board only clients, then your poster board will be presented at the conference on Wednesday. Our agenda basically starts Monday evening, is our expected welcoming everyone. Tuesday, Wednesday morning, all day Thursday are our pitch days, with the overflow expected for Friday. So we normally do 4 days of pitches. We've cut into our conference speakers day on Wednesday by pitching Wednesday morning, and then overflow for Friday. So we're trying to shorten the week. We've listened to everyone about travel, so we're trying to make travel easier on everyone and trying to make it compact. Plus, our Tech Scout says at some point you just overwhelm us with too many. So we've had as many as 72 or more innovators pitch in 1 week, and so we're trying to shorten that back. So the question yesterday was how many. Our range is 40 to 60. Our target is 50 to 58. That's kind of the sweet spot for us, but that's our range that we're expecting. So if you're a poster board only, you're going to poster board is your agreement at the conference. Regardless of if you poster board or not, we want you to complete your poster board because it's your public document. It's the very same document, whether or not you put it on a 3-foot by 4-foot placard, or whether or not you keep it in the PowerPoint slide document. So as a PowerPoint slide document, it's very easy for us to send a poster board from Barbara or from Bijou to Tim Fowler at Stratcom, and then he can see it and he can share it with someone else in another program. It's not even DoD because it's a public document. So we've witnessed programs that are too much like what I think of as the Wild West. We don't want to be the Wild West. We want to have networking like the Wild West can do, but we want you to feel assured that your documents are safe and that they're being taken good care of by us. Whether or not you reveal your your quad chart or your information paper at the conference to other innovators is your choice. What we will do, by your permission, is we will share your poster board or your capability statement, and as participating on the matchmaking side, and we'll cover that not this week, I'll mention it, but on the matchmaking side, your capability statements that you answer will go into the capability matrix. That's a public document. The capability matrix, every client that participates in the matchmaking will see the capability matrix, including our primes or those that we're targeting. We've got US Stratcom, their SBLOs are coming from Space Systems, and then we're going to work with as many of their subcontractors that we can work with to be there or to participate as well. We're talking right now with Department of Energy. Most likely they will do more of a block and tackle where they'll see them and maybe do something later. But USDA and others that will be there, they will have that same opportunity by looking at the capability matrix. So that's public, quad chart, information paper, pitch deck, or private. Does that cover it, Bijou? Good. Thank you very much. I think we covered that sort of yesterday, but I think, Vicki, we may end up cutting and pasting a little bit of both because there's some stuff that Bijou brought up, I think, that we might not have covered as well yesterday. So very good. Thank you, Bijou. So basically that's, I think we've covered most of what we covered yesterday. Vicki, can you help me with, or Barbara or someone, what did we cover yesterday that we might not have said?
Well, I think just real quick, some kind of deadline or dates.
Yeah, you're right.
September 11th is the first one coming up, and that is going to be, we would like to have your bluff statement that you've updated and really cleaned up, so to speak. We'll use that to get posted out on the website. And then October, I don't remember the date in October. When does the early registration?
October 8th.
October 8th is when early bird registration ends at that discounted rate. And then November 1st is the deadline for all of your final documents to be submitted. And that gives us time to make sure we have everything and get those prepared for the EI conference starting on the 13th of November. Practice pitch sessions we have scheduled for those that will be pitching October 23rd through the 27th. And in that email, that next steps email that I sent or will be sending to those who haven't gotten anything yet, there is a link to sign up for the practice pitch sessions.
We have our partners here will have their own. Bijou runs in Texas. They do their a lot of theirs are physical in person. So and I think Jessica does. So we're not certain what Chip Whitney will do with Barbara in Mississippi, but generally speaking, each SBDC tends to run a pitch program of their own. They sometimes invite us, especially first year or two, either myself or Bill, we can join you. So please make sure you focus on your SBDC first. And like in Bijou's case, they don't really need us to to help them. They've been doing it long enough, so that's should be fine. If you're not a part of that, depending on when you see this, and you're going, well, I know who my tech coach is, but they've not said anything about it. Well, then that's what we're talking about. So if you don't have a place, then you should be able to work with us for certain. So we've got that
Also,
open.
Alan mentioned tech coach, and for the innovators, every innovator that's participating will have a tech coach assigned, and that tech coach will be copied on all communications with the client. So if I'm sending any emails out to the client innovators, then the tech coach is copied on it. So both of you are in the loop on any conversations.
Yeah, and to Bijou's point a while ago, the good news is that information that's going to your SBDC business advisor / tech advisor, tech coach, that person is there to help you, but they're not there to hurt you. So they're not going to cause any pain. They're going to do their best to be able to give you the one thing they can give you that you cannot give yourself. And I guarantee you is that they at least have a chance of being objective, because most likely they do not know your innovation. And because they don't, they're able to give you really good perspective on editing your documents and your pitch. You need to come to this conference speaking at, according to Brett Sheringhausen from years past, at a 6th to 8th grade level. Your SBDC advisor or your tech coach is going to give you that, because they don't know your technology. So as they read through and listen to what you say, they're going to be able to give you advice early on, probably already starting to happen with your documents as you get them, as you cover certain points, and they're going, I'm a little confused here. What does that mean? Bijou's used to doing it, just like looking at us and going, okay, guys, you got this. We're used to that advice giving, going back and forth. So hopefully you'll be comfortable with them. If you're not, start getting comfortable with them. They should be a very good teammate for you. So that way you'll be covered. Vicki said something that I want to make sure our tech coaches, our SBDC advisors here, and that is October the 8th is our early bird deadline, because of what we're coming out of the COVID, the wonderful COVID years, and our 3 virtual conferences. October the 8th also represents a very critical, I think it's October the 10th, maybe the real deadline, but along with October the 8th is our host, Johnson County Community College, has a decision that we have to give them as the conference is up or down. If we have 10 early birds and we've got 15 innovators we're talking with, well, then we're probably going to flip off the physical conference, because we can't afford, that's the price that the hard cost that you're paying will not cover the cost. It's split, anticipating that we have about 40 at a minimum. So if we're not close to our minimum on the go date, on the go, no go, then we will close the conference. So that's why they're doing a very good job of offering the early bird, to where if everyone signed up or a number signed up properly, we're good to go. October the 8th, we move forward. Not trying to worry you. No matter what we do, even if you participate and then you don't sign up, you don't come to the conference, you're still going to be represented. We're going to do everything we can to work with you. So the conference is something we do, but without the conference, what we do, we still do. So the conference not being physically in place does not cause all your work to go to waste. Yes, Bijou.
So just to make sure that we are on the same page here. So if we don't have 40 clients in total by October the 8th, the plan is that it'll go solely virtual. Is that?
I don't know I don't know the exact number. It may be a lower number, but to that effect, that's something to that effect. We will make a decision with Johnson County, so they tied it specifically to the early bird. That way, they enticing everybody. So there is a number, and as we go forward, we'll know what that number is. And but that's to that effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't want to quit everything that Bijou does and that we all do is all part of trying to help you with your commercialization. The conference is a way to get that accomplished. It's just not necessarily the only way. So it is a go. It's part of what we do, right? It's reality. So yeah.
Well, the
Alan,
reason
I
I'm
need to step away.
Okay.
all right, Vicky.
All right. Thanks, Vicky.
Thank you. See everybody.
All right,
Thank
Alan.
you.
Yes.
So
Go
one
ahead.
thing we need to keep in mind is if there is a possibility of that, we probably want to maybe, and so I don't know, I'm bringing it up for discussion here. If you want to share that with clients, and it can cut both ways, because people who are going to attend in physically are going to start buying plane tickets, making reservations early, and we don't want to jeopardize that. But if
That's
we
exactly right.
if we sound unsure, they may not do that. So I don't know. I'm kind of like up in the air a little bit, but I'd like to hear what everybody else thinks. But I'll be talking tomorrow, and what I get feedback from here, I'll represent that accordingly. But just wanted
That
to
will be a
hear.
big help. Yeah,
Yeah,
because to that point, Bijou, that's why we've been reaching out to Barbara, to Jessica, Chip, you, and all the states. At this point, I don't anticipate that's an issue, but this is our first year out of COVID. I mean, this is our first year physical. So you, the client, drive this. Each one of you have a vote. So if you start dragging your feet and you don't pay the early bird registration, that's the least of your costs, right? We have it low on purpose. We negotiated with our host. We would love to have it for free, but right now we don't have a master sponsor that covers that for us. So it's a token, but that you're exactly right, Bijou. I hope that by next week, Barbara can say, so here's where I think I'm at with my number. Jessica can do the same thing, but the real numbers are the signups and then the registration. So if we're at 50, 60, 70 signing in, then we're probably very good to go, because we've been through this enough times that we know. But if we're tight, then yeah, we'll let you know. We'll keep letting you know as we go what we think in that regard.
one additional thing is it might also help if you all can work out some sort of a discount thing with some hotels, because it'll probably help us on multiple fronts. One, it helps drive traffic to that hotel. Number two, we can achieve to a degree what we had always wanted to do with the event, is get all the innovators talking to each other. And if they're staying at the same hotel, that kind of helps too. So
right. So great point. Let's see, how do I back out of here? Okay. So down at the bottom, they do have conference hotels,
right,
that they've chosen, and they have a block. So
okay,
you should be able to. I know the Embassy Suite is the main hotel. I don't know how long this discount group rate is, but there is a discount group rate. It's $124 per night at the Embassy Suites. So I'm very glad we didn't cover that yesterday. You just full of them, dude.
okay. Well, I'm going to mention this tomorrow. So, and with that, my dear friend and fellow colleagues, I'm going to jump off. I have 11 o'clock that I have to attend. So,
well, I think you covered it. Thank you very much. So glad
all right,
to
take
see
care.
you.
See ya.
All
Bye-bye.
right, see you. All right, I'm glad. Bijou, that goes to show you, he's. I guess Barbara's as far out as anybody with Mississippi, but I hadn't thought about some of the things he's talking about. We do think about them, which is one of the things we want to cover with the two Michaels that are here. One of the questions is the conference and timing on pitches. We, because of the way we have it this year, it's going to be fairly easy because we have no pitches Monday afternoon, and our overflow will be Friday morning. So, in talking to Bijou, I'm going to anticipate we're going to need Friday now. After knowing what we go through, we're kind of used to this, but we will do our best. Excuse me a second. We will do our best to have you pitch If you've got issues, you share with Vicky. Vicky has done a great job working with the different states to where if you've got issues, we try to go accordingly. I can only be there Tuesday and Wednesday. I can only be there Thursday, that type of thing. So we work as much as we can, but what we really try to do is get the conference speaking portion is the public portion that we want everybody at. So our ecosystem partners, we're working with some venture capital, our prime contractors, our advanced manufacturing. We try to make sure everybody has a chance to see each other physically in person during that portion, which is Wednesday noon to the rest of the evening. That's the day the poster board at the embassy, it's planned to be at the Embassy Suite Hotel. So to Bijou's point about everybody being at the same hotel, we've got a larger, not necessarily better, but a larger hotel that I think is going to help in that regard, to try to have at least one main location hotel wise. You may pitch Tuesday morning and then the conferences as far as Wednesday afternoon and evening or Thursday, but we try to make that work as best we can for everyone. Chris, can you think of anything that we haven't covered since you weren't there yesterday? Between you and Bijou, we should now have pretty much everybody have heard everything.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
You guys got everything covered up.
So the main thing is we're not, the one main difference physically is that we're not requiring everyone to do the poster board publicly printed this year. We're doing it virtually for everyone. And then our poster board only folks, we're offering for them to bring their poster boards physically to the conference, and we've got that set up for them. So we expect to have some poster board only, but for the rest of you, we're having you do it virtually because that's how we've been sharing them. So we know it's the public document. So that's the only change I think that we've had. That's the big one. All right. Well, with that in mind, I'm going to open it up. Anybody have any questions or comments that they are thinking about that we haven't covered, or something they're not quite understanding? Any words of wisdom?
Well, you said the conference was, I see on the website or the email you sent, it led to Johnson County Community College.
Right.
Is that okay? So there's a location there.
Yeah.
That's
so if you go down, yeah, that's a great point. You go here. They have done an excellent job of giving you wonderful information. Thanks for asking. So you can see here where coming from the airport. Whoops, I did not mean to move that. Let's see. Let me do that again. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I could just zoom in. There we go. How come my map is not letting me move? Okay. Well,
no worries. I think I have a.
There we go. There we go. Here's what I was trying to do is just zoom in. They've mapped it directly to the college to where even from the website, you can type it in, Michael, but they've actually got it to where they've even mapped it from the website that you can get to exactly where we're going to be. Okay. And then they've mapped it from the airport. They've actually got, I think they've got it even mapped over, what's going on? All right. Over to the Embassy Suites as well. At least I think that's right. Yeah. So that should give you hopefully everything you need. As you go forward, if you have a question, you're more than welcome to give us a call or check with us. We didn't cover something that today that we did yesterday. So Michael, I will point out something. For those that have not been here before, if you go to I think what is Encountering Innovation, down here at the bottom, the past events, the last 3 virtual conferences, 22, 21, and 20 are virtual. You can go to 2019 and 2018. That picture and that picture are from the exact locations where we'll be, the same building. You go in here and you'll be able to see information about that conference, how many innovators, and you can see pictures, and you can look through and get a clue as to what this is. The poster board event that we were talking about that we've altered. We're now, instead of requiring everyone, because almost everyone, the virtual part seems to be what connects everyone. So this year, that's the greatest change, is the poster board event, as we call it, will be Wednesday evening, the evening of the actual conference. And we're only requiring that the poster board only folks print theirs. So that's the only snapshot difference that you'll see here. But you can see in 2018 and 2019 actual coverage of the, well, look at there's Chris. And then I think we've even got some of the speaking, I think. There we go. This is the room where our conference, where the speakers were, but give you an idea of the facility as well.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much, Alan. I'll definitely be sharing this with my team over here. It'll help organize everything, and hopefully
Very good.
we'll just
Yeah,
follow.
guys, if we haven't covered something, this one was try to be more of an overview and get you to be able to dive into it. If we failed to cover something, and really with the other statewide SBDC folks here, they do a great job of helping us really cover it much better. Many hands make for light work, right? But if something bugs you, email us. If I don't get back to you, or somebody doesn't, say, hey, I sent this to you, I don't think you noticed, or call us. This is the road to the Encountering Innovation. We do this to get you into the program. Once you're in the program, you're one of the ones that we're working on from that point forward. We're over 300 innovators that we're working with our tech scouts ongoing. So anything you need, let us know. That's what we're here for. Okay, I think that's pretty much covered it. One last chance for Barbara, you or Chris or Chip or Whitney, anything you can think of?
No, I think you did a good job.
Been great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, between yesterday and today, I'm definitely going to have to take this one over to Marissa and have her do some cutting and pasting, because I think Bijou covered some of the physical stuff that is a part of the challenge for everyone as far as making decisions. I do believe with his word on telling us how many are at least attending tomorrow, I'm confident that I'm confident we'll get the numbers we need. I'm just thinking we're behind schedule, and it's part of what we're coming out of, and that's just something we got to get through. All right. Well, thank you, each of you, for what you're doing. Please continue to spread the word to tell others, innovators. We need a core group. That way we get the tech scouts we want, and we get more. Every tech scout represents usually about 1 or 2 adoptions. That's my theory. What we've seen in the past is each tech scout tends to